Hello, YouTube world. So, you truly can't make this shit up. I find it very funny. I'm not upset, I just find it funny. It's been a while since YouTube gave me a real laugh. Okay? I recently made a video, and I posted it on YouTube, as well as on Rumble, I think, showing how one can use a torch that is usually intended for the use of cooking drugs with these types of torches, but instead of using it to cook drugs, in the video I'm showing that you can use the same thing to cook hot dogs. Yep. And so I'm holding the torch, and I've got the hot dog on a stick, and I'm cooking the hot dog with the torch. And then at the end of the video, towards the end of the video, I put some ketchup from ketchup packets on the hot dog, and I eat the hot dog, and I give my review of how well it worked. It was my first time of ever doing that. I was inspired by a homeless guy who I saw doing that. He actually made me a hot dog that I ate, and that's where I got the idea to use a torch in that way. So YouTube has said that it violates their community guidelines, and that this is age-restricted content. Let me just say, there are no drugs in this video at all. It's a hot dog. It's a hot dog from the grocery store that I'm cooking, and this has got YouTube triggered. So let's take a look at the email I got. Well, we'll just look very briefly. I'm not going to play the video because I don't want to get into any trouble. If we look, okay, I need to show you my screenshot. Sorry. Hot dogs with drug paraphernalia. So the drug paraphernalia in question would be the torch. It's a torch that, I mean, it is associated with cooking with drugs. That's what those torches are. I've never seen them used in any other way. So that's what those torches are associated with. And there's another implement, which is actually a dental tool, like the stick that I have the hot dog on in order to hold it up to the flame, is actually a dental tool. Truly, it is a dentist's tool. But I bought it at a cannabis store. It's been repurposed to be used for preparing drugs. So that's why it was sold at a legal cannabis store. But it is actually a dental tool. But I don't know if that's drug paraphernalia or not. It kind of is. I mean, any given implement can have many uses. I think that's the take-home message here. So drug paraphernalia is not always necessarily drug paraphernalia. It can be used for other things. So let's look at this email. Oh, what did I write though? I wrote, because when you don't have a kitchen, you've got to get creative. Right, so I live in a hotel room almost for 2 years now without a kitchen. And I'm considered, as per my health professionals, to be deficient in vitamin B12. And the main source of vitamin B12 in somebody's diet is meat. But when you don't have a kitchen, most meat needs to be cooked. So it's a constant struggle struggle for me to get enough meat in my diet, and having another tool, another option, another way to prepare meat in the absence of a kitchen is actually really valuable information. And that's the reason why I made that video and shared it. Okay, because I'm sure I'm not the only one in this situation. And homeless people don't have kitchens either, do they? And it was a homeless man who I learned this method of cooking from. And let's just be real, a lot of homeless people do take drugs. But they might be so used to seeing their torch as something to use with drugs, they might forget that, might overlook it and think, oh, well, not realize that they could use it to cook food with too. I overlooked it in that way. So this is actually encouraging people to use their items that they have for drugs, but to use them for something else that's not drugs, like food. So it's actually moving people away from using drugs. Not that I would think that should even be an issue, but YouTube seems to make it into an issue. So, okay, so let's look at this email. So this is the email that I got from YouTube. YouTube age restricted your content. Hi, we've reviewed your content and determined that it may not be suitable for viewers under the age of 18 per our community guidelines. As a result, we've age restricted the following content: cooking hot dogs with drug paraphernalia. We haven't applied a strike to your channel. Gee, thanks. Why would you? And your content is still live for some users on YouTube. Thanks. Keep reading for more details on what this means and steps you can take if you'd like to appeal this decision. What age restricted means? We age restrict content when we don't think it's suitable for younger audiences. This means it will not be visible to users who are logged out, are under the age of 18, or have restricted mode enabled. What our policy says: content that shows the display, use, or creation of drugs or controlled substances isn't appropriate for all audiences and may be age restricted. So that video doesn't show the display, the use, or the creation of drugs or controlled substances. That's not happening in this video. Okay? The torch was purchased from the dollar store, so it's not a controlled item. All lighter, like even just a lighter, like a Bic lighter, or a book of matches, technically those are controlled. You have to be over the age of 18 in order for the store to legally sell you that. So in that sense, but I don't think, is YouTube censoring or putting age restrictions on any video that shows a lighter, like a Bic lighter, in it? No. So I think the main thing here is drugs. Content that shows the display, use, or creation of drugs. There's no drugs in this video at all. It's drug paraphernalia, the torch, but it's being used in a different way. That's the point of the video. And so there are no drugs in it. It's a hot dog. It's being used on a hot dog that was purchased at the supermarket. Okay, so there are no. That's what their policy says. That they're quoting to me for why they put age restriction on this video. Well, did they watch the video? That's not happening in the video. There is no display, use, or creation of drugs in this video. And the torch was purchased legally at the dollar store. Okay? Even though, it is drug paraphernalia. That's what it's associated with in terms of, I'm sure there are other uses for these torches, but I don't know of anyone who's used it for anything else. How we find violations. We use a combination of automated systems and human reviews to detect violations of our community guidelines. I think that there's somebody who works at YouTube who is got their nose out of joint because of how I've been able to thoroughly embarrass them over and over again. This is right up there with the time when I was making celebrity mugshot videos, and I made a video showing mugshots of people who work in the adult entertainment industry, I mean primarily porn stars, and YouTube said it violated their community guidelines on nudity. Okay, well, these are mugshots taken at the police station. There's no nudity in a mugshot, okay? Even if the person in the mugshot happens to be a stripper or a porn star, when they get arrested and taken to the police station and have their mugshot taken, they're wearing clothes just like any other person in that situation. It's not like, oh, well, you're a stripper, so for your mugshot we need to see you in the nude. It doesn't happen. But they considered that to be a violation of their community guidelines for nudity as well. Like, that was probably the most stupidest thing that YouTube ever did. This is right up there with it, though. This is like vying. These two examples are vying for top spot as the most stupidest thing that YouTube has ever done. We realize this may be frustrating news. You know, I honestly don't care. Like, as far as I'm concerned, none of my content is made for children. And when you upload a video to YouTube, it asks you, is this made for children? And I say no. I always answer that question no every time. I would consider my channel to be an adult channel. Like, I don't consider any of the content on there to be for kids. Straight up. So that's not the audience that I have in mind. So I'm not at all frustrated. I just think it's comical and kind of silly that YouTube is going to all these great lengths over somebody using a torch that's primarily associated with drug use, but that they're using it to make a hot dog, and that YouTube would get this bent out of shape over that. Like, that's what's more interesting to me. And I guess if there is anything frustrating, it's like, it suggests to me that my channel is under extreme scrutiny, that they would even go here, right? So why am I under so much scrutiny? But this particular instance of them saying something should be age restricted, in and of itself, no, this is not frustrating. I think it's humorous. I'm laughing at YouTube right now. And we want to help make sure your content is accessible to all audiences. Well, I don't think it should be. I'm not intending my content to be consumed for kids. It's not for kids. No, my channel is not for kids. Here's what you can do. Review YouTube's community guidelines. Double check that your content is in line with our guidelines. Yeah, it is. Appeal here if you think we've made a mistake. Yeah, I'm not doing that because I have other things to do with my time, and I'm just not doing it. I would rather leave it like this as a monument to the stupidity of YouTube. Like, every time I go on there and see age restricted, I kind of have a little chuckle to myself. So I'm not bothered by it. I think they should be embarrassed. Like, this is obviously not violating their community guidelines. That's what they've just quoted to me. So it's just silly. But so I'm not gonna go do all this work to correct their silliness. Like, they should just not be silly in the first place if they don't want to be silly. Appeal here. Okay, learn about your resolution options. If you have further questions, please feel free to reach out to us here. Yeah, so I'm not doing any of those things. I just think it's dumb. Like, the only part that's concerning to me, like I said, is that it suggests that I'm under really extreme scrutiny. But yeah, so just because there's drug paraphernalia, there's drug paraphernalia. That torch is an example of drug paraphernalia. But I'm using it in a way and highlighting prominently, like that's the whole point of the video. It's in the title of the video. Look, you can take this drug paraphernalia, right? But you don't have to only use it for drugs. You can use it for something else. You can use it for cooking food to help nourish your body. And seriously, this can be valuable information for people who are experiencing homelessness and who don't have a kitchen to cook with, or in my case, I'm not homeless, but living in a hotel room that does not have a kitchen. You know, Canada is in the midst of a housing crisis, so not everyone has the luxury of having a kitchen, and so we have to come up with these alternative ways of cooking. Now, I'm not going to make a campfire my hotel room, I'd set the whole hotel on fire if I did that. So the torch is, yes, it is drug paraphernalia, but using it in this way to cook a hot dog is actually, a safe alternative than, a safe way of cooking when somebody doesn't have many options to cook with. So that's the point. I mean, it could be survival too if you're out in the woods or something. Who knows? So I mean, there's different situations when something like that this might come in handy. So that's it. I think YouTube is just a sick joke. It's a sick joke. I'm gonna focus on the joke part though, and stay light and happy for today. But it is sick. It's sick because why am I under so much scrutiny? Like really, YouTube? Like, did you watch the video? Did you see any drugs in that video being used or created or anything like that? No. You saw a hot dog. You saw a torch being applied to a hot dog, and then somebody eating said hot dog. And you think that this it needs to be age restricted. You're dumb. You're dumb, YouTube. The YouTube team, you're dumb. You're really dumb. You've embarrassed yourselves this time. You really have. You should be ashamed. Alright, that's all I have to say.